All right, this next story is a little complicated, so you sort of have to follow the details here. Last year in Ohio, a 33-year-old woman who was 21 weeks pregnant, her name's Brittany Watts, went to the hospital complaining of bleeding and severe cramps. Well, doctors realized that Watts' water had broken prematurely and decided they had to induce labor. Watts then disregarded medical advice and checked herself out of the hospital. She returned the next day, expecting to give birth, but was forced to wait 8 hours as doctors determined if inducing labor could be breaking Ohio's abortion laws since the fetus was not viable. So they had her wait 8 hours there while they were looking into this. So she checked herself out again, and 2 days later, she miscarried the fetus into the toilet. She tried to flush the fetus, and when her toilet clogged, she left parts of it in a bucket in her backyard. She then went back to the hospital, but was then charged with felony abuse of a corpse. She was arrested, which could land her in prison for a year. And the case has now made national headlines as doctors and patients are desperately trying to figure out what is legal in terms of abortion now that Roe has been overturned. I want to bring in trial attorney Misty Marris. Misty, this is a complicated one. It's an interesting case. There's so many details. I mean, what do you think? Do you think prosecutors should have moved forward with these charges?
Brian, this is certainly a complicated case with a lot of implications moving forward. So we have to look at what the Ohio law says. Abuse of a corpse. It's treating a corpse that would violate community sensibilities. What does that mean? Well, does this factual scenario fit into that? So the legal questions that will have to be answered at this case, twofold. One, what's a corpse? Does a fetus that's non-viable, that's miscarried, is that fit into the law? Number two, is this the type of scenario that the legislator envisioned when enacting the law? So all of that will have to be hashed out. And right now, it's pending a grand jury indictment. So we'll see what the grand jury does.
I mean, is it possible with the laws changing that these kinds of situations, I mean, hopefully won't come up very often, but it seems possible that we may see something like this again?
Absolutely, Brian, because after Dobbs, which overturns Roe v. Wade, that constitutional protection relating to abortion no longer exists. So now it's the state laws trying to hash out the limitations in all sorts of different arenas, not just abortion, but a situation like this where you're talking about a miscarriage and other reproductive health. So certainly there's implications that go beyond just the amount of weeks or whatever time frame abortion is permitted. And we saw this being foreshadowed in the preliminary hearing. Prosecutors only focused on abuse of a corpse. It's really narrow. They say everything that happens after the miscarriage, that's what matters. The defense focused on that whole narrative that you just described, the 8 hours in the hospital, seeking medical care, not being able to get it, the emotional trauma after the fact. So those are the two competing scenarios that we'll see play out in the courtroom if this case goes to trial.
Do you think these laws are too broad? Is that the issue here? I mean, do they need to be more specific?
Well, this particular law is so broad because there's really nothing defined, and whether or not this scenario actually falls under that umbrella is very, very questionable, especially when you go back and look at the legislative history. These laws were enacted to prevent grave robbing, Brian.
Yeah,
Grave robbing.
grave
Or
robbing, yep.
a dismemberment of a corpse. So you have a whole different analysis as to what these laws really were meant to be. However, in that statute, there's also mistreatment as one of the words that's used. So what's the definition of that? And again, is this even a corpse? A fetus that was non-viable, that uncontroverted, died in utero. That's
Yeah.
not something that's up for debate. Prosecutors have conceded that the baby, or excuse me, that the fetus died in utero. So that's a really important point and
Yeah.
something that's going to have implications well beyond this case. And if there's a conviction here, Brian, this will go to an appeals court to hash out exactly what we're speaking about, the language of the statute, whether or not it encompasses this type of scenario and some of these definitions, and whether or not prosecutors really have the ability to bring this particular case on this set of facts.
Yeah, this is definitely one I think that a lot of people around the country are going to be watching because it's very, I guess, I don't even know what word to use. It's disturbing.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.